on stage that I'm going to nail this session. Okay? My fingers are still crossed and my toes are still crossed. You can't see them because they're inside my shoes. But table topics are difficult for a very simple reason. How many of you heard stories? A story has a structure. There is a once upon a time. Usually, there's a once upon a time. So there is an opening, and then you go into the matter of the story, which is the body. And then there is a closing, which comes with a moral or the message. Correct? So your natural progression is that you have an opening, you have a body, you have a conclusion, and each of these they tie into the message. What happens if you are given a table topic? What are you being given? The opening, body, conclusion, or the message?
The message.
You're being asked to deliver a message, and you're being asked to construct a story around that message, and that is where things get difficult. Why? Because so far you have learned that stories are told and messages are delivered, right? But Mr. Singh gets up and calls a hapless person on stage and asks him, "What kind of a fruit are you?" Okay? The message he's supposed to deliver is what kind of a fruit he is. Okay? And that's a challenge. Because all his life, he's heard that there was a fox. The fox saw some grapes, tried to eat them, could not, walked away saying that grapes are sour. Moral of the story: anyone, if you want to find an excuse, you will. Right? That's how we learn stories. How many of you think that you are not storytellers? Oh, come on. Raise your hands. Come on, be courageous. Okay, and what if I told you that you're wrong? Storytelling is in your DNA. You've been born as storytellers. Everyone carries a story inside them. You don't want to believe me? I could give you numerous examples. But I saw a YouTube video which kind of said that we first learned to draw, or we first learned to write. The earliest time that people have seen, the earliest forms of writing is about 3,500 years old. Don't go by my handwriting. If it is any solace, you should look at my drawing. It's even worse. Okay, but this is 3,500 in my handwriting and in English. Okay, 3,500 years ago, the first letter was written. And the earliest drawings, they are around 6,500 years old. And by the most conservative estimates, human beings have been around for over 100,000 years. Okay, 6,500 plus 3,500, how much is it?
10,000.
Is it 10,000? Okay, that's 10,000. Mathematician, I should know this. But what you're telling me is that for 90,000 years, no one has told stories. Are you telling me that? Or at least 90,000 years, how have people transferred stories from generation to generation until they came down to you? So if you're telling me you are not a storyteller, you are disregarding the 100,000 years of evolution, at least. There's a storyteller inside every one of you. Because there are stories inside every one of you. The only thing you have to do is find a story. For example, he can make 1 lakh rupees look like a profit or like a loss, which is why I don't trust chartered accountants. Okay? That and the fact that I failed in accountancy. That's another story. Okay. Now, but the thing is, every one of us has stories to tell. So the first thing that you want to do is to collect the stories you want to tell. Okay? I am going to say your social media platform, your favorite social media platform.
Instagram.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Wow. Okay. Anyone else who likes Instagram? So, users. No, I am not very familiar with Instagram. My son is, and he likes to call me a boomer, so there's a story there. Okay. But the thing is that if I was to ask you about the best post you ever saw on Instagram, what is your answer?
Today.
Anytime.
About book recommendations.
Book recommendations. What about you?
I saw them daily try to fight.
To your profile. Okay. But do you have a story to tell about that post? What that post was about?
Sir, I was noticing on Instagram there few pages there was a recommendation to buying a share. The share price was
My
very.
question is not about buying shares. My question is,
No, it
You
was
saw
a recommendation.
something.
I'm saying, sir.
you saw something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it inspire a story or not? Like it did for you about buying shares. Simple question. Yes or no? Did it inspire a story or not? Okay. My favorite social media platform, YouTube. And I could tell you 10 different YouTube channels that I follow, or 10 my favorite YouTube video, and I could tell you a story about it. Can you not do that? Can anyone? Everyone can do that, right? Okay, let's go on to something more conventional than Instagram. Okay, your favorite fruit?
Mango.
I love mangoes. Okay,
So mine?
Yeah.
I said it before, banana, sir.
what about you? Okay, I was waiting for someone to say blueberry and then go yuck. But again, can you tell me a story about mango? You can, right? Probably the best mango you ever had. Maybe a summer evening, maybe, icy cold mangoes, sitting with friends under a tree. There's a story in there. When was the last time you had a banana? And what form was it? Was it a banana shake? Was it a banana salad? Was it banana chips? There's a story in there. Yours is still a banana? Oh, you're still stuck on mangoes. Okay. But the thing is that each of these incidents is a story. And what I would want you to do is start collecting those stories. Okay? You don't have to write the entire story. So, I have existed for 50 years now, which is probably more than any one of you in this room. Okay? And probably if you add a couple of ages, I'm still older to you. So that means I have a lot of stories. I have 50 years worth of stories. I'm assuming that the youngest member in this room is around 18 years old, and that is 18 years old, 18 years worth of stories. Stories when you were 1 year old, stories when you were 5 years old, your first birthday, your first crush, your first teacher, okay, your first school, first time you got hurt. Everyone has a story. What I want you to do is start collecting those stories. By the way, timer speaking of stories, 28, 35, 42 for green, yellow and red. 28, 35, 42, okay? And then for question answers, it's 10, 12 and 14. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, everyone has stories. Start collecting them. On my Google Keep, I have made a note of all the stories that I can collect. What happens when you start collecting stories? Do the stories automatically come to your mind? No, they don't. You see, the human brain is a very curious organ. We primarily have three parts. We have the unconscious, we have the subconscious, and we have the conscious mind. The unconscious mind is keeping you alive. It is keeping your heart pumping, and it is keeping the blood running in your veins. And it does a host of other things. The subconscious mind is something that is very underutilized. And we think with our conscious mind. A lot of decisions that we take are with our conscious mind. Okay? The subconscious mind is powerful. Okay? That is where the habits reside. Right? How many of you can drive a car? Very good. And how many of you drive a manual car, not automatic? Okay. But I remember when I started driving, a car for the first time. For some reason, I found the second gear to be the most difficult. I literally had to look down and then see that I was in second gear. Okay, and my driving instructor, he was old. I should not say that I'm 50 years old now, but he was old. And he used to tell me that second gear is very important. I would jump from first to third gear just because I did not want to put the second gear. Then one day it struck me. I was holding the gear stick wrong. All I had to do was hold it like this, bring it down, and suddenly it's become muscle memory. Now I change gears without even looking at the gear stick. Why? Because it has become muscle memory. How do you activate that muscle memory? This is where habits come in. What is the habit that I want you to form? I want you to go through each of those stories at least once in 2 days. Ever studied for GMAT or GRE? Anyone? Yeah. Remember flashcards?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's not difficult. Flashcards are supposed to make things simple.
No, GMAT is very difficult. I'm not a
Oh,
good
yeah.
flashcard.
I'm sorry for you. Yeah. If you think GMAT is difficult, ask chartered accountants. They'll tell you what is difficult. Accountancy is difficult. Okay. But the thing is that when you use the concept of a flashcard is that you have a piece of paper, and I'm sorry, whosoever is the best table topic speaker. On this side you write the word, on back side you write a meaning, a sentence, its synonyms, and a lot of other things. Okay. So whenever you're sitting free, instead of browsing your phone, look at the word, try to recall its meaning. If you cannot recall its meaning, you read and then you try to form a sentence with it. What happens? At some point, you flick enough cards, you start learning new words. That's how flashcards work. That is how you prepare for quizzes. How many of you go for a morning walk? What time do you go for a morning walk?
8 o'clock.
Oh, you have a nice day. What time do you go for a morning walk?
7:30.
What time do you wake up?
I wake up at 7.
Okay. Don't talk to my mom. Okay. But the thing is, do you need an alarm to wake up these days?
So,
No, it automatically happens.
yeah.
Somehow your body clock has adjusted. It tells you that at 7 o'clock you have to wake up, you have to go for a walk. And you don't even know. When you woke up, when you put on your shoes, when you went into your walking gear and suddenly you're out there on a walk, it's about half a kilometer later you realize that you are on a walk. Why? Because a habit has formed. Okay, and that is the power of habit. Once again, just to illustrate how the subconscious mind works once again. Anyone studied maths or tried their hand at programming? I did both of them. You go to sleep with a problem in your head. You can't find the solution. Somebody tells you go to sleep, and you go to sleep, and you wake up. Because the solution to that problem is in your head. Okay? You know that now it is going to work. Why does that happen? Subconscious mind has been working on that problem while you were speaking. That is the power of subconscious mind. What I'm telling you is collect your stories first of all. Okay, collect your examples, collect your experiences, and then go through them once, twice, thrice a week. At least once a week. Once in 2 days, best. But go through your stories. Try to remind yourself. Why? Because we are building a habit. What is that habit? I'm going to come to that. So you got your stories in place, I'm assuming. Everyone has those stories in place. I'm fast forwarding into the future somewhat. That from today onwards, you will start collecting stories and that you'll be able to recall them at will. Okay? If not every story, a few of them. That would make for a good table topic. First and foremost, collect stories. And I'll come to the cases where you don't have a story or you don't understand the topic. I'll come to that later. But right now assume that you have a story. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you a way by which you will not fail at table topics. Okay? A lot of you said you were afraid. It's 8:02 now, and my promise is by 8:25, none of you will be afraid of a table topic. Okay? And I believe that the proof of the pudding lies in the eating. So that reminds me, I haven't eaten. Oh, off topic. Okay. Give me a topic. Anyone. Give me a topic. Anyone. Not you. You give weird topics. Yeah. And you have some sort of a vendetta against me. But give me a topic. Anyone.
Friendship.
Friendship. Okay. I believe a friendship that is one of the most important relationships you can have. I say so because you choose your friends. You are given your relatives. Let me explain what I mean by that. You were born into a house. You had brothers and sisters. You had to get along with them. You did not have a choice. I did not have a choice. I had to share my bed with my brother. And I had to, as I grew older, my younger brother started taking all my clothes. So, are we friends? Probably not. But are we brothers? Yes. But then I have friends who are like brothers to me, who probably done more for me than my brothers have. And to me, friendship is the most sacred, the most sacrosanct relationship ever. I'm not going to ask you how I did. I'll come back to that later. I want another topic.
Marriage.
Marriage. Oh. In my opinion, a marriage is a gamble. I say so because people say that love marriages work, others say that arranged marriages work. And I've seen both fail. Let me explain what I mean by that. Because I have seen a love marriage that translated into 6 different marriages for a friend of mine. Could not find the perfect one. And I've seen an arranged marriage that has gone on for 21 years, standing right here in front of you. Yeah, a lot of people thought you and arranged marriage, that's a different story. But the thing is that there are marriages that succeed and there are marriages that don't, and there is no distinction whether it's a love marriage or whether it is an arranged marriage. Sometimes an arranged marriage works, sometimes a love marriage does not work, and vice versa also happens. So what does it say? A marriage is a gamble. Because it takes one person to disagree, and there is disharmony, and you've got a failed marriage. What you do with it is a different matter altogether. But in my opinion, marriage is a gamble. I don't want to know how I did on my topics. I want to know, did you see a structure in both the topics?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In both the topics, how did I start?
Starting with the
Exactly. Now, there is something called an opinion. Now, do you agree that everybody has an opinion?
Yes.
Anyone in this room who does not have an opinion? Okay. How many subscribers does Instagram have? 1.3 billion or thereabout. You've got 1.3 billion opinions right there. Okay, and counting. Am I making sense? Okay, everybody has opinions. I have a 10-year-old nephew at my place. He's autistic. He's in the mild spectrum. He has an opinion. He can't speak. But boy, can he express his opinion. Okay? If he wants a cookie, he will not be able to speak, but he'll drag you by the hand. And if you cannot go, your hand will go with him. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you. Okay? And he'll get you to get those cookies down for him. He has an opinion. A person in the twilight of their age, they also have an opinion. Alright? Every time I tell my mom that I am going out, she has a list of questions. Where are you going? Who are you going out with? Is it a Toastmasters meeting? Why are you wasting your time in Toastmasters? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody has an opinion. Okay? Now, iPhone or Android? Okay. I say Android. Android is the best. What is your response?
You're right.
True. I agree with you.
Disagree.
Okay. Android is the best. Is that an opinion or not?
Conclusion.
Opinion.
It is an opinion. And any iPhone lover here? Okay. And you said true? Seriously?
True.
Oh, you said disagree. Okay. But if I say that, Android is way better than iOS, what is going to be your response? You're going to disagree, but your response is that's your opinion. And if you're more respectful, you will ask a question. What is that question?
Why?
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 Okay, and how do you answer a question and why you use the word? Because. And when you say because, you give a reason. An opinion without a reason is useless. If you're writing it down, I have it inside a nice graphic. I will share it with your VP head and she can share it with you. Okay? So, an opinion without a reason is useless. Right? Like, I have some annoying relatives who think that I'm in the wrong profession, that is training and development. So they come up to me and they say, why don't you try your hand? Why don't you go to Canada? And why don't you drive trucks? That's their opinion. And I was brought up to be respectful to them and I don't ask why. Because I know no matter how many times I ask why, they'll give me an answer that I don't want to hear. But the point is that if you have an opinion, you might as well have a reason for it. And I gave you reason in both the topics. I said, I say so because. First topic I started with, I believe that, and I stated my opinion. Second topic I started with, in my opinion, and I gave my opinion. But then, in both the topics, I started with, I say so because. Third step, you have a reason. Okay, iOS is the best because it is secure. Now, that's your reason, right? It's secure. But what's your next question? How is it secure? And that's where the third part comes in, where you give an explanation. Okay. Now this explanation can be in the form of examples. It can be in the form of experiences. All right. But you need to give an explanation. A reason without an explanation is useless. The more explanation you give, the better and more solid your reason becomes. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay. And then finally, it's a very simple matter. You just close with your opinion. Now, the first letter of the word opinion is O. And the first letter of the word reason is R. And the first letter of the word explanation is
E.
And the first letter of the word opinion is
O.
Oreo.
Oreo. How many of you like Oreos? I hate you all. I hate Oreos. I mean, seriously, Oreo shake. I hate it. I don't know why the world likes Oreo shake, but I totally hate it. Okay. And I have friends who will take me to Big Chill and they'll spend something like 400 rupees on an Oreo shake. I feel like taking them home, buying a box of packet of Oreo that comes for around 30-35 rupees and some milk and just whisking it in a mixer and giving it to them. And then I feel like asking them, why don't you give me 400 rupees, instead of spending. But I digress. This is the Oreo approach to a table topic. And 99% of table topics lend themselves to a narrow approach. You start with an opinion because everybody has an opinion. You qualify your opinion with a reason. And then you can give examples or experiences. And you finally close with a reason. Okay? Now, let's revisit your topic, bananas.
Yes.
Okay? Start with your opinion. Start with in my opinion. In my opinion.
Sir, I said it before.
Yeah, go ahead, say it again. Say it again.
In my opinion, if I were to become a fruit, I would be in banana, as I said before.
Okay, and I say so because
Because I like banana.
Because I like banana.
And the
And let me explain why I like banana.
The explanation is that because it has a nutritious value, at the same time it's not very expensive, it's an economic fruit and it is very readily available, you can find it anywhere.
Do you find yourself giving a better topic now? Yeah. Now all you have to do is close with because of these reasons.
Because of
My opinion is that I would be A banana. What was the ridiculous topic you gave to him before that?
Are the horoscopes accurate?
Although I think the horoscopes are ridiculous. I say so because I've heard horoscopes for myself and they make me look ridiculous. Let me explain. The other day, a person reading my horoscope, apparently I'm a Libra, 26th of September, said that if I wear a golden shirt with pink trousers and I go feed a cow, the day is going to be good for me. And I'm trying to imagine myself in a golden shirt, wearing pink trousers, look with food in my hand, looking for a cow. Okay. Does it get more ridiculous than that? And does it make my day any better? Well, I don't think my day is going to get off to a good start. First of all, I'm going to have to buy those clothes. A golden shirt and a pink trouser. And then I'll have to convince my mom to give me some food for the cow. And that will be another story altogether. And then I'll be looking for cow on the streets of Delhi. Okay? So that is why I believe that horoscopes are ridiculous. What I did there, I negated. They're not accurate, they're ridiculous. You can do that also with an Oreo approach. Now, no, I was going to say 8:25, it is 8:14. How many of you feel confident about a table topic now? Super. So now you are going to attempt a table topic. Relax, I'm not calling you on stage. I'm just asking you to write it down. Game? Everyone?
Yep.
Okay. And this is a good way to write speeches also. Okay. And I'm going to give you a topic. Yeah, I've seen the green card. You can put it down. Thank you very much. Write your topic. Focus on writing your topic. I'm going to give you. Okay, I also have a timing device. I am going to give you something like. I'll give you 3 minutes to write a topic. Okay, and your topic is your favorite social media channel. Start with, in my opinion, I say so because, let me explain, and close with, so in my opinion. And your time starts now. 3 minutes. So people thought that you were having a hybrid meeting, by the way, thereafter my life. In my opinion, I say so because, let me explain, close with, to conclude, in my opinion, You confirm you just received it on the WhatsApp. I just sent it to you. You can share it. Feel free to share it. Okay. Okay, we got less than 30 seconds now. Okay, stop. All right. Anyone who wants to share the topic, you can just read it out. I am not asking you for facial expressions or anything. Yes, let's go with you.
In my opinion, YouTube is the best social media channel, a social media platform, because I say so because it is a platform that has a huge potential for everyone, be it teachers, students, artists. It has this platform can provide access to everyone to express their own professions. Not everyone for example, not everyone in India has access to good quality education. With almost free internet nowadays, a poor farmer's child in a remote village in India can also have access to MIT's educational courses, can become an artist, can have access to good quality education all over. This platform is almost free of cost, has no limit of content, and everyone can get access to all kinds of stuff through it. And that is why YouTube is the best social media.
Okay, anyone else? Yes.
In my opinion, the best social media channel is LinkedIn. I say so because it's the only media that is non-addictive. It does not deliver easy pleasure things like jokes, reels, etc. Every time I open LinkedIn, there are mostly useful insights on contemporary and relevant topics by people who are either working on or are interested in those topics. And then there are useful discussions in the comment sections. So it adds value and knowledge. Hence, in my opinion, LinkedIn is the best social media platform.
Super. Let's have a round of applause. We'll have one more topic and then, yes. Your name is?
Hanna. Hanna.
Khanna.
Hanna.
Hanna.
Yeah.
Okay, let's begin. Sorry for that.
In my opinion, my favorite social media channel is Instagram because it is very easy to use and it has many exciting features. And the most exciting feature is that it is not used by my neighbors and relatives because they couldn't comprehend that technology. The platform also provides opportunities to learn, forge new friendships, and apart from entertaining. So these are the factors that attract me towards Instagram.
Let's have a round of applause for her. Now, you know why I'm asking you to have a round of applause? Because every time I clap, my Fitbit count goes up. My wife, who's in Canada, thinks that I'm out for a walk. Right now, she thinks that I'm running. Okay. Followed the structure, somewhat followed the structure, but she did something different from these two. Can anyone tell me what she did?
Humor.
Humor.
I'll come to that. I'll come to humor a little later, but here's the thing. How many of you have heard of these three words? Ethos, logos, pathos. Not heard? Heard, but you don't know what it is? Okay. Why did you call me here? You wanted me to talk about table topics, specifically public speaking. But if I come here and I start talking about GST, how many people do you think will remain in this room? And you will not grill me on GST? Why? You don't understand GST?
I don't understand. He's my partner for this.
So, yeah, there's a joke about GST that our son was looking to become a chartered accountant, but then GST happened and he's decided to take up nuclear medicine. Okay? Because apparently nuclear medicine is simpler than GST. But the point is, if I start talking about GST, what is the first question out of your mouth?
What the hell?
Exactly, it is what the hell. More specifically, who the hell are you to talk about GST? And that, my friends, is ethos. Ethos comes from you. Who are you? Integrity, the integrity part of your speech or the presentation. It comes from you. Ethos. Ethos is you. Who are you? Ethos answers that question. Okay? First. Second, what if by some stroke of fortune I am a chartered accountant and I am speaking about GST, and through some miracle I am able to make you understand what GST is? Would you be interested in listening to me? And that is logos, or your message. And your measure for logos is, if you explain a concept, can a 13-year-old, 13, not 30, a 13-year-old understand what you are talking about? Okay? Sorry, chartered accountants, you cannot explain GST to a 13-year-old. Okay? Even you cannot. Okay? So this is about your message or the logic in your communication. The most important part in your speech is pathos, and that is the passion, and that is audience interest. Okay? What is the coldest temperature that you have seen?
-14.
Minus 14, 1-4. Okay. What about somebody else?
-70.
Huh?
Minus 70.
7-0. कहाँ गए थे?
And like I've seen in YouTube, like one of the. What are you saying, man?
Okay. I was in.
It works.
It was December, and I was in Minnesota. Minnesota is upper Midwest region, United States. It borders Canada, and it has this town called International Falls, and that town is called the icebox of the world. And I went there, and I came back. And I told my mom I'm going there, and I came back, and this was December of 2008. So my mother, I'm speaking to my mother, and my mother says, "How's the weather?" And I tell her, "It's warm." And she says, "What do you mean by warm?" I said, 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius is warm. And my mom says, "Since when did 0 degrees Celsius become warm?" I said, "Ever since I've been at minus 50 degree temperature in International Falls. It is so cold. You know, when snowfall happens, you don't even feel cold. You can literally roam around in a half sleeve shirt like the one that I'm wearing. You can literally roam around in a t-shirt. Nothing happens. Okay? Stay out long enough. Wait for the snow to stop. And wait for the wind to start. And then you will know what bone-chilling cold is. Because it will go right down to your bone. Your bones will start freezing. And all the liquids will start freezing around them. And you will find that you're barely able to move. Right now, how many people have their hair standing on end? That is pathos, by the way. If you are able to evoke that kind of passion inside a person, inside your audience, that is pathos. It is the most important part of your speech because it accounts for at least 65% of your communication. Our Prime Minister, and I don't care what is your opinion of our Prime Minister. Some say that he's a jerk, some say that he's the best Prime Minister we had. Okay? I don't care about that. When he goes on radio and does a talk show, there is nobody spending money for people to come and listen to him and get hundreds of thousands if not a million people, listen to him. Why? Because he speaks with pathos, he speaks with passion, he's telling stories. Some of those stories might not be necessarily true, but he is telling them with a passion because he believes in those stories. That is the most important part of your speech. Why did I give such a long lecture around ethos, logos, and pathos? Who knows the best about you? Who's the one person who knows the best about you? Yourself. And yet when you are asked a question in the interview, tell me something about yourself, you feel like saying, dude, you have 5 pages of my resume, you made me copy paste that into an online form, and you made me wait 5 hours outside. You did not have the time to read my resume, and now you're asking me, tell me something about yourself. But the point is that you know the best about yourself. Okay? Can you explain your subject in a way that a 13-year-old can understand it? Can you do that? Again, who is it about? Again, you, sir. Okay? And can you speak about it with a passion that nobody can imagine? You can. But that happens only when you tell stories about yourself. Because nobody knows you better than you. And that is where the two of you went wrong, because you gave me generic examples. She attempted to go personal. And my suggestion to you is that when you are doing table topics, tell personal stories. Why? Because people relate to that. Did you feel minus 70 degrees when I spoke about international falls? You now know what minus 70